No one expected Earth to burn that day. The sun rose like any other morning, bright and calm, but deep in the void beyond Mars, thousands of alien warships moved into position. They came from every corner of the galaxy, each ship marked with the glowing symbol of the Galaxy Council. For years, the Council had called humanity reckless, dangerous, and unpredictable. Now, they decided to end the human problem forever. From their capital world of Valrian, the Council gave a single command: neutralize Earth. To them, it was simple. Humanity was just another young race that refused to obey their galactic laws. They believed humans could be easily crushed, like dust under steel. But they were wrong. They had no idea what Earth truly was. In orbit above the blue planet, human satellites watched the alien fleets arrive. Every radar, every sensor lit up red with warnings. Command centers across Earth filled with silent tension. There were no speeches, no panic. Only calm voices. Humanity had seen this moment coming. For years, rumors of the Council's hatred had spread through secret networks. Earth's governments had quietly prepared, building defenses in hidden locations, defenses no one outside the planet knew existed. The alien commander, a towering being of the Varn Empire, looked down at Earth through the holographic display. "So this is the world that defies the galaxy," he said coldly. "Beautiful, but foolish." His second-in-command, a nervous insectoid from the Skell Dominion, replied, "Sir, humans are primitive. They have no interstellar fleet. The Council predicts total victory in 2 hours." The commander smiled. "Then begin the bombardment." Hundreds of alien dreadnoughts charged their plasma cannons. Beams of burning light shot toward Earth's orbit, targeting satellites, stations, and defense grids. The first explosions lit the skies, visible even from the ground. People in cities looked up, confused. The attack had begun. But inside a secure underground base, deep beneath the Rocky Mountains, a group of human officers watched quietly. "They've started," said General Harris. "Phase 1 confirmed." A calm voice replied from the command console. "Understood, General. Awaiting your order." Harris took a deep breath. "Hold position. No counterfire yet. Let them think we're weak." The aliens continued firing. Within minutes, thousands of satellites were destroyed. The Council's fleets advanced closer, confident the planet's defenses were gone. But strangely, Earth did not respond. No return fire, no distress calls, nothing. To the aliens, it looked like surrender. "They are broken already," one of the alien admirals laughed. "End it quickly." Yet something bothered the Varn commander. His sensors picked up faint signals coming from the moon. At first, he ignored them, thinking they were just debris. But then the signals grew stronger. A strange vibration echoed through every scanner. The commander frowned. "Report. What is happening on the moon?" His technician's voice trembled. "Sir, the surface of the moon, it's moving." Across the fleet, confusion spread. Cameras zoomed in. Massive metal plates beneath the lunar surface were opening, shifting like armor plates sliding apart. From within the moon, enormous structures began to emerge, towers, hangars, weapon platforms glowing with red light. Then, from the darkness, a shape began to rise. It was not natural. It was not a rock. It was a ship. A gigantic warship. "Impossible," the alien commander shouted. "The humans built something inside their own moon." The technician whispered, "Sir, we are detecting extreme energy levels, something we've never seen before." On Earth, alarms rang across every hidden base. The Deep AI core, known only as Athena, came online after decades of silence. Her voice echoed through every control room. "Retaliation protocol is ready. Awaiting command." General Harris stared at the hologram of the rising ship. "So it's real," he whispered. "Project Ars actually exists." Above Earth, the massive vessel broke free from the lunar surface, shedding dust and debris like a sleeping beast waking from a long dream. The ship stretched kilometers long, forged with dark alloy and powered by something unknown. The alien fleet froze in disbelief. "It can't be human technology," one said. But it was. Humanity had hidden its greatest weapon for this exact day. Project Ars had been built in secret, using every lesson from past alien wars and every piece of stolen technology humanity had ever found. It was silent, cold, and merciless. As the ship fully emerged, its hull glowed with crimson energy lines. The alien sensors went wild. "Sir, it's locking on us." "Locking? How?" "We have stealth shields." "They're gone, sir. Our shields are dropping." The commander's eyes widened in panic. "Retreat. All ships fall back." But it was too late. A deep rumble echoed across space as ours opened fire. A single beam, white and blinding, shot from its front cannon. It cut through the void like lightning and struck the alien flagship. The explosion was so massive that even people on Earth saw a new star appear in the night sky. Silence followed. Then, one by one, the other alien ships began to vanish, disintegrated by invisible strikes, weapons so fast they couldn't be tracked. Chaos erupted in the Council fleet. "They're using weapons outside known science. Shields useless. We're being erased." In the human command center, Athena's voice remained calm. "Phase 2 complete. Enemy fleet, 70% destroyed." General Harris nodded slowly. "Send the message." Across every communication network in the galaxy, a signal appeared. It was short and clear. Just 3 words: "This is Earth." Panic spread through the Council worlds as the message reached them. No one knew what had happened yet, but they all felt it, the beginning of something terrible. The humans had not just survived. They had struck back. And the galaxy would never be the same again. The Galaxy Council's grand invasion had turned into chaos within minutes. The skies above Earth were filled with the wreckage of alien ships, glowing trails of broken hulls and scattered fire. The few surviving Council commanders could hardly believe what they were seeing. The humans had hidden a warship inside their own moon. To them, that was madness. No species had ever done such a thing. But as they soon learned, madness and brilliance often looked the same when humanity was involved. The ship known as Project Ars floated above the lunar surface like a god of war. It was larger than any vessel the Council had ever built. Its armor shimmered with dark light, absorbing every sensor scan. Its engines were silent, yet the energy readings around it made space itself tremble. The alien commander, still alive aboard his damaged flagship, shouted orders. "All units regroup. Target the human construct before it reaches Earth's orbit." But when his ships fired, the beams simply vanished, bent away by invisible fields that surrounded the human warship. Their weapons meant nothing. Inside the control core of Ars, a human voice spoke calmly. It was not a man or woman, it was Athena, Earth's strategic AI, controlling every part of the vessel. "Enemy resistance detected," she said in a steady tone. "Initiating neutralization sequence." Panels across the ship's hull opened, revealing rows of hidden cannons. Light burst out in every direction as Ars fired again. Dozens of alien cruisers disappeared instantly, reduced to glowing dust. The rest turned to flee, but Ars was faster. In the span of 10 minutes, the once mighty invasion fleet was gone. On Earth, command centers erupted with cheers and disbelief. Humanity had just defeated the largest combined armada in galactic history. Yet General Harris did not smile. He stood before the main display, watching the destruction in silence. "This is only the beginning," he said softly. "They will send more." Athena's voice filled the room again. "Message from the Council intercepted. Reinforcements inbound in 48 hours. Estimated fleet size, triple current engagement." Harris turned to his officers. "Prepare global defenses. Begin activation of Project Helios." Around the world, hidden bases came to life. Massive underground hangars opened as human warships rose from the oceans and deserts. Suborbital cannons powered up, their barrels glowing with blue energy. The humans had kept their secret well. For centuries, Earth had played the role of a struggling, divided planet. They had let the Council believe they were weak. But beneath the surface, humans had united under a single hidden command, the Earth Defense Directorate. Their purpose was simple: prepare for the day the galaxy would come. And now that day had arrived. Meanwhile, on the other side of the solar system, the Council fleet survivors limped through space. Their communication channels were filled with anger and fear. It was not a ship. one alien shouted. It was a weapon built to destroy worlds. The Council must know of this, another replied. If Earth can build something like that, no one is safe. But even as they argued, something followed them. Sensors detected faint signals, tiny blips moving at impossible speeds. The survivors tried to increase distance, but the blips drew closer. Then one of them realized the horror. "They're drones," he whispered. "Human drones." The small metallic spheres caught up to the alien ships and detonated, each one releasing electromagnetic waves that tore systems apart. The survivors never made it back. The Council received only fragments of their distress calls, screams, static, and one repeating phrase, "The moon is alive." Back on Earth, the global population still struggled to understand what had happened. News channels showed the burning remains of alien ships falling through the atmosphere. The sky glowed faintly red at night from the debris. People were afraid, yet also filled with pride. Humanity had done what no other world had dared, stood against the Galaxy Council and survived. But inside the war room, the leaders of Earth knew the truth: survival was not victory. The Council would not accept humiliation. They would return, stronger and angrier than before. General Harris stood before a large holographic table showing the solar system. Red dots marked enemy positions, green ones represented human defenses. "We can't wait for them to attack again," he said. "We must strike first." A young officer hesitated. "Sir, do you mean, leave the solar system?" Harris nodded. "For too long, we've let them come to us. It's time they see how far humanity can reach." Athena's voice interrupted. "Project Ars is ready for redeployment. Energy reserves at 93%. Hull integrity optimal. Shall I begin target selection?" Harris looked up at the hologram of the moon. "Yes. Start scanning Council outposts near the edge of our system. We'll make an example." While humans prepared, the Galaxy Council gathered in an emergency session. Their great chamber was filled with tension and disbelief. Representatives from hundreds of species argued, shouted, and accused each other. The High Chancellor slammed his clawed hand on the table. "How could one world destroy an entire invasion force?" he demanded. A scientist from the Melek race spoke tremblingly. "We underestimated them. Humanity hides technology far beyond their development level. It's as if they've been planning this war for centuries." The Chancellor growled. "Then we will crush them with everything we have." "That would be suicide," another member shouted. "If they can build a warship in secret, what else could they be hiding?" No one had an answer. Outside the chamber, rumors spread quickly, rumors that Earth's moon was not just a base, but part of a massive defense network stretching across the solar system. Some claimed humans had built fortresses inside asteroids, others said they had captured alien technology long ago. The Council was afraid, but their pride would not let them stop. They began assembling a new armada, larger than any in history. It would take months to reach Earth, but when it did, they planned to erase humanity completely. On the dark side of the moon, Project Ars floated silently. Its hull reflected the light of distant stars. Inside, Athena monitored every signal, every transmission. She did not sleep, she did not rest. When she detected the Council's new mobilization order, she quietly sent a message to Earth. "They are coming again." General Harris received it within seconds. He stared at the message for a long time, then whispered, "Good. Let them come." Outside, the moon glowed faintly, as if listening. Deep inside its metallic heart, engines began to hum again. The humans were not afraid anymore. The galaxy had seen the first spark of Earth's power, but what came next would shake every star. The moon had awakened, and it was only getting started. The Galaxy Council believed they still controlled the war. They thought Earth's retaliation was a lucky strike, a desperate move from a doomed species. But they were wrong. Humanity was not fighting for survival anymore. They were preparing for revenge. The silence after the first battle did not mean peace. It meant the storm was gathering strength. For 2 days, Project Ars floated quietly near the moon, hidden from all alien sensors. Inside, Athena was calculating. Every signal from deep space, every intercepted transmission, every whisper of the Council's plans was recorded and analyzed. Finally, Her voice broke the silence. "General Harris," she said, "enemy reinforcements have entered the Sol system. Estimated time to engagement, 7 hours." Harris looked at the screen showing thousands of red dots moving toward Earth. "How many ships?" he asked. "Approximately 6,000, Athena replied. "Composed of multiple species fleets under Council command." Harris took a deep breath. "Then it's time," he said. "Activate Operation Titan." Across Earth's orbit, hidden defense stations came online. Invisible satellites, disguised as space debris, powered up their cannons. Deep below the oceans, giant submarines opened launch silos filled with kinetic missiles. In the deserts, energy platforms rose from beneath the sand, humming with deadly light. Humanity's true power began to awaken. Meanwhile, the approaching Council fleet moved in formation, confident after reorganization. Their new commander, Lord Tareth of the ZYR Dominion, had sworn to crush Earth personally. "Their tricks won't save them this time," he growled. "We will burn their world until nothing remains." Behind him, his officers nodded, though fear lingered in their eyes. The stories of the first invasion haunted them, the stories of the moon weapon that erased entire ships without warning. But orders were orders. The fleet advanced. As the first alien ships entered the outer edges of the solar system, something strange happened. Their navigation systems began to glitch. Screens flickered, sensors went dark, communication lines broke. "We're losing contact with the forward scouts," one officer shouted. "EMP waves." "Negative," another replied. "It's something else. Something's watching us." Lord Tareth frowned. "Stay calm. Maintain course." Then the lights inside his ship dimmed for half a second. A message appeared on every display, written in a language no alien had ever seen before. Only 3 words: "This is Earth." The crew froze. Then, from the blackness of space, the first human attack came. Hundreds of small, black objects appeared around the alien fleet, unregistered signatures that didn't match any known design. Before anyone could react, the objects exploded with blinding precision. Dozens of Council ships vanished instantly. "Ambush!" screamed an alien officer. "They're everywhere." But there was nothing to see. The humans had used cloaked drone swarms, controlled directly by Athena's AI network. Each drone carried enough firepower to destroy a cruiser, and there were thousands of them. The alien fleet tried to fire back, but every time they locked onto a target, it disappeared. Chaos spread. "We can't hit them. Our shields are failing. They're inside our formation." Lord Tareth slammed his claws against the console. "Form a defensive perimeter. Activate counter-scanners." But even as he shouted, his ship's hull shook violently. A beam of white light pierced through the darkness, slicing through 5 ships at once. Project Ars had arrived. It descended from the moon like a silent shadow, its massive structure glowing faintly red. The humans did not speak. They simply attacked. One by one, alien warships exploded under the precision of Ars weapons. Each shot was surgical, each impact absolute. The human vessel moved with terrifying grace, as if it already knew where the enemy would be. Inside the command room, Athena's voice was calm as ever. 72 enemy ships destroyed. Adjusting trajectory for optimal engagement. General Harris stood beside her holographic interface. "Push them out of the system," he ordered. "Leave nothing that can return to the Council." On the alien side, panic turned into despair. Lord Tareth tried to rally his remaining forces. "We can't retreat. The Council will execute us if we fail." One of his officers shouted back, "If we stay, we die anyway." Suddenly, another shockwave hit. The flagship's hull cracked. Warning lights filled the bridge. "They're targeting our reactors," someone yelled. "Evacuate!" But there was no time. The flagship erupted in a brilliant explosion, sending fragments spinning into the void. From Earth, people could see flashes in the night sky, tiny sparks far above, marking the fall of the invaders. For the first time in history, humanity was winning a war among the stars. As the last alien ships tried to flee, ours shifted course. Its engines glowed white-hot, and within seconds it was behind them. The humans had no mercy. Ours opened fire once more, and the final wave of the Council's armada vanished into silence. Then, across the galaxy, the Council's communication network detected a signal. It came from Earth's direction, an open broadcast, impossible to ignore. Athena's voice spoke across every known frequency, calm and cold. The Council attacked our home. You destroyed our cities. You called us primitive. You thought we would beg for mercy. You were wrong. This is humanity's answer. The message ended, replaced by the image of the burning Council fleet drifting lifelessly near Saturn's rings. Millions of alien citizens across the galaxy saw it live. The reaction was instant: panic, fear, disbelief. The legend of Earth had begun to spread. Back on the Council's capital world, the High Chancellor stood in silence, staring at the footage. His advisors waited nervously. "They have turned our war into their message," he said slowly. "And now the galaxy listens to them, not us." One advisor whispered, "What shall we do?" The Chancellor's eyes darkened. "We prepare. If Earth wants war, they will get it." On the moon, Project Oz returned to its hidden dock, surrounded by silence once more. General Harris stood on the bridge, watching the stars. "They will come again," he said. Athena replied, "Then we will be ready." Harris nodded. "They thought we would fear them. But fear belongs to the Council now." Outside, space was calm again. The ruins of alien ships drifted quietly through the void. But in every shadow, in every echo, one truth remained clear: the age of humanity had begun, and no force in the galaxy could stop what was coming next. The galaxy was silent after Earth's counterstrike. Every species watched in fear as reports of the destruction reached their worlds. The Council tried to hide the truth, claiming the human victory was exaggerated. But the evidence was impossible to ignore: entire fleets gone, commanders missing, and the terrifying image of Project Oz burning through space. For the first time in centuries, the Council felt powerless. On Earth, humanity did not celebrate. They prepared. Factories across the planet ran day and night, building new warships. Engineers and scientists worked under the direction of Athena, who now controlled half of Earth's defense network. "The Council will strike again," she warned. "They will come in greater numbers." General Harris stood in the command chamber beneath the Rocky Mountains, eyes fixed on the glowing map of the solar system. "Then we meet them before they reach us," he said. "It's time to take the fight to them." The order was given. The first human fleet in history left Earth's orbit, led by Project Oz. Hundreds of smaller ships followed, sleek, fast, and invisible to scanners. Humanity was no longer defending, it was hunting. Meanwhile, deep in space near Jupiter, the Council fleet gathered again. It was the largest force ever assembled, over 10,000 ships from every major species. Their new commander, Grand Marshal Sereth, stood on the bridge of the flagship Vigilant Dawn. His eyes burned with rage. "We will erase Earth from existence," he declared. "They will pay for every ship they destroyed." His officers nodded, though none truly believed in victory. Fear spread quietly through the ranks. Many had seen the recordings of the moon weapon, the ship that defied all known technology. Yet no one dared to speak. The command to advance came, and the fleet moved into formation. The plan was simple: strike from multiple directions, overwhelm Earth's defenses before ours could respond. But they never reached that stage. As they entered Jupiter's orbit, strange distortions appeared across their sensors. "Sir, detecting multiple anomalies," an officer reported. "Unknown energy signatures." "Ignore them," Sereth ordered. "They're trying to scare us." But then the space around them flickered. A massive shadow appeared above Jupiter's clouds, ours. It had arrived silently, without warning. Before the Council could react, the human ship opened fire. Invisible beams of energy tore through the alien formation. Ships exploded one after another, their reactors collapsing in blue fire. Panic spread instantly. "We're under attack. Where is it? We can't lock on. Our targeting systems are blind." Ours moved like a ghost, its weapons cutting through the fleet from every direction. The humans had improved their technology since the last battle. Now their cannons bent light and time, striking faster than any defense system could react. Within minutes, thousands of Council ships were gone. The rest scattered, trying to regroup, but every time they formed ranks, ours was already there, waiting. "It's reading our formations," shouted an alien commander. "It knows where we'll be." They didn't realize Athena had hacked into their communication network days before. Every movement, every command they sent was already known to her. On Earth, General Harris watched the battle unfold through holographic projections. "Maintain pressure," he said. "No survivors." The human fleet closed in, finishing what ours had begun. Smaller vessels launched coordinated attacks, striking weak points in the alien ships. The battle became one-sided, a massacre. In less than an hour, the Great Council fleet was reduced to fragments floating in Jupiter's orbit. The stormy planet below reflected the flashes of explosions like a fiery sea. Grand Marshal Sereth stood frozen as his bridge filled with smoke. "How?" he whispered. "How can a single world do this?" His ship shook violently as ours appeared before him. Through the viewport, he saw the colossal warship, silent and beautiful in its destruction. A message played through his comms, Athena's calm voice. "You should have left Earth alone." Then a beam of light consumed his ship. The last Council flagship vanished without a trace. Back on Earth, silence filled the command center. The data confirmed total victory. "All enemy vessels destroyed," Athena reported. "No survivors detected." Harris looked at the holographic map, thousands of red dots fading into nothing. "Then it's done," he said softly. But Athena's tone changed. "No, General. This was only their vanguard. The true Council fleet remains in their home sectors. They will not stop." Harris nodded grimly. "Then neither will we." Across the solar system, human colonies celebrated in secret. They knew the galaxy was watching, and fear was spreading faster than light. On distant worlds, alien citizens whispered new legends, the story of the planet that fought back, of humans who turned their moon into a weapon and defeated empires. Some species began questioning the Council's power. Others quietly sent messages to Earth, offering peace or alliance. Humanity had become something new, a force no one dared to provoke. As Project Ars returned to lunar orbit, its hull glowed from the energy of battle. Inside, Athena processed the victory and began her next calculations. "Phase 3 prepared," she said. "Authorization required." General Harris hesitated. "If we strike their home sectors, we end this war," he said. "But we also cross a line." Athena's hologram flickered. "They crossed it first." Harris looked out the window toward the stars. Somewhere out there, the Council was rebuilding. They still believed they ruled the galaxy. Soon, they would learn how wrong they were. He gave the final order. "Begin Phase 3. Take the war to them." The stars outside flickered as Oz powered its jump drive. Humanity's first interstellar counterattack had begun. The fall of the Council fleet was only the beginning of Earth's vengeance. The galaxy trembled after the destruction of the Council's Jupiter fleet. Entire civilizations went silent, afraid even to mention Earth's name. The Council tried to control the news, but the truth traveled faster than their lies. Millions of alien citizens watched the leaked battle footage, one human ship annihilating thousands of their strongest war vessels. Whispers turned to fear, and fear turned to panic. How could a single planet defy the might of the galaxy? No one had the answer. But on Earth, hidden deep beneath the Rocky Mountains, the truth was known. Humanity had been preparing for this war for centuries. The great secret of Earth's strength was not luck, nor alien technology. It was planning, patience, and unity born from survival. Inside Command Center Omega, General Harris stood before a glowing map of the solar system. Around him, officers worked quietly, coordinating fleets and construction zones. "Status of Project Alios?" he asked. A young technician replied, 50% complete, sir. Solar defense rings are aligning. Once active, no ship will enter our system undetected." Harris nodded. "Good. We can't allow another surprise attack." Athena's holographic form appeared beside him, her voice calm and precise. "General, my analysis indicates the Council's main fleet is regrouping near the Orion Arm. They are gathering resources from at least 9 species. Estimated time to launch, 40 standard days." Harris exhaled slowly. "Then we use that time wisely. Begin global synchronization. All across Earth, something incredible began. In deserts, oceans, mountains, and cities, massive structures started to rise from beneath the surface. Hidden bases long thought to be myths powered up. Huge antenna arrays unfolded, linking into a single planetary network. Ordinary citizens watched in awe as the sky filled with glowing lines of energy. They didn't know it yet, but they were looking at the heart of Earth's defense system, the Terran Net, a global shield grid that had been under construction for more than a century. The Terran Net connected every satellite, drone, and weapon system under one command, Athena. With it, humanity could coordinate attacks faster than any alien fleet, track ships across light years, and deploy orbital cannons with pinpoint precision. It was a machine built to wage war on a galactic scale. Meanwhile, deep in space, a captured alien commander from the previous battle was brought before General Harris. His name was Corran of the Varn Empire, a veteran of 100 wars, now trembling in human custody. He stared at the humans around him, unable to believe how calm they were. You are not supposed to exist," Corran said, voice shaking. "No species evolves this fast. You were primitives only a few centuries ago." Harris looked at him coldly. "We had no choice," he said. "The universe made sure of that." Corran frowned. "What do you mean?" The general turned to the window, showing Earth's blue glow far below. "Every time we met another species, we were tested. Some tried to enslave us. Some tried to manipulate us. And some tried to destroy us. We learned quickly, because we had to." Corran hissed, "But how did you build these weapons in secret? The Council monitors every system." Harris smiled faintly. "Because we let them see what we wanted them to see." For decades, the Council spies had monitored Earth's progress through false data streams. They saw a divided world, wars, poverty, and chaos. But those conflicts were illusions. Hidden beneath the surface, humanity had already united under the Earth Defense Directorate. Every global war had secretly funded new technologies. Every disaster had been a cover for construction. The moon wasn't just a natural satellite, it was the first layer of a massive defense network that extended across the solar system. Mars held weapon foundries disguised as mining colonies. Asteroids contained hidden shipyards, shielded by electromagnetic fields. Even the gas giants had automated refueling stations. Humanity had built a fortress that spanned the heavens, and no one had noticed. Back in the council chambers, panic grew as reports flooded in. "They destroyed our fleets," one ambassador shouted. "How did they build such power without detection?" The High Chancellor's voice thundered. "Because we underestimated them. We thought humans were divided, emotional, chaotic. But they were planning our downfall while pretending to fight among themselves." The room fell silent. For the first time, the Council understood what they were facing, not a single world, but an entire civilization united by one goal, survival. On Earth, Athena completed the synchronization of the Terran Net. A wave of energy rippled through the sky, invisible to the human eye but strong enough to shake satellites in orbit. "Network fully operational," Athena reported. "Humanity's shield is complete." General Harris looked at the hologram, his eyes filled with both pride and worry. "Athena, what are the odds of surviving the next council attack?" 71%, she answered. "However, those odds will decrease if they deploy their new experimental dreadnoughts." "Then we'll have to strike first," Harris said quietly, "before they finish building them." In the following days, human fleets began silent missions beyond the solar system. They targeted isolated council supply stations and communication hubs, erasing them without warning. Each attack was swift and precise, leaving no trace behind. To the rest of the galaxy, it was as if ghosts were hunting them. Corran, the captured alien, sat in his cell watching the endless stream of data. "You're not fighting a war," he said when Harris visited again. "You're cleansing the stars." Harris didn't deny it. "The Council gave us no choice. They wanted us to kneel. We decided to stand." Corran shook his head. "You don't understand what you've started. The Council will unleash everything." Harris's reply was calm and final. "So will we." Meanwhile, across the Milky Way, smaller alien nations began breaking away from the Council. They feared Earth, but they feared the Council's arrogance even more. Some sent secret envoys to contact the humans, offering alliances or information. Athena intercepted all of them. "They want protection," she informed Harris. "Should we listen?" Harris thought for a moment. "For now, let them come. Fear can be useful." As the days passed, Earth grew stronger. Its people stood united under one purpose: to defend their home, whatever the cost. The night skies above the planet shimmered with faint blue light as the Terran net reached full power. Earth was no longer just a world, it was a fortress. But as General Harris watched the stars, he knew the true test was still coming. Somewhere beyond the edge of human space, the Council was building an armada large enough to crush worlds. The final war was on the horizon. And this time, it would not be fought near Earth. Humanity was preparing to carry its vengeance to the heart of the galaxy. The galaxy had fallen silent after Earth's sudden rise, but silence never lasted long in war. Deep within the heart of the Council's territory, plans were already in motion to launch the largest counterstrike in history. Dozens of alien races, once divided by greed and power, now stood united under one purpose: destroy humanity before it destroyed them. In the Council war chamber, the air was thick with tension. Massive holographic maps filled the dark room, showing the positions of human fleets spreading like fire through the stars. The High Chancellor stood before the gathered commanders, his voice low and heavy. "We underestimated them once. That mistake will not happen again. This time, we bring everything." Behind him, projections of enormous warships shimmered to life. The Oblivion Armada, a fleet so massive that entire star systems had been stripped of resources to build it. Super dreadnoughts powered by black hole cores, swarms of interceptors armed with plasma lances, and planet-cracking siege cannons capable of burning entire worlds. "We strike directly at their heart," said Admiral Threx of the Exor Dominion. "No more playing defense. We'll burn Earth itself." The Council murmured in agreement, but one voice rose above the rest. It was Ambassador Vila, an old alien diplomat who had witnessed the first human contact decades ago. "You fools," Vila said bitterly. "Every fleet we send, they destroy. Every trap we set, they turn against us. Do you not see? We are fighting ghosts. They know our moves before we make them." The High Chancellor's eyes glowed with anger. "Then we will erase their ghosts. Launch the Oblivion Armada." Orders were sent across the galaxy. Within weeks, the stars themselves seemed to move. Thousands of warships left their docks, converging into a single burning line that stretched across space. The Oblivion Armada was on its way to Earth. Meanwhile, far from the Council's reach, on a dark side of the moon, General Harris and his command team observed strange energy readings. Athena's holographic form flickered beside him. Incoming signatures detected. Cross-referencing known patterns, result: Council Armada, designation, Oblivion. Harris frowned. "How many ships?" Athena paused for a moment before answering. "Approximate count, 1 million, sir." The room fell silent. Even the most battle-hardened officers froze. No one had ever seen a fleet that size. Harris took a deep breath. "Then this is it. Prepare the solar net. Evacuate non-combat sectors." "Understood," Athena replied. Terran defense protocols activated. Across Earth and its colonies, the alarm spread like wildfire. Cities entered lockdown, military bases went to high alert, and the skies glowed as the Terran net flared to life. Massive energy shields rose over the planet's surface, shimmering like blue glass. In orbit, human warships formed tight formations, ready for impact. Humanity was not running this time, they were waiting. As the hours passed, the first wave of the Council fleet arrived at the edge of the solar system. Thousands of alien ships appeared from hyperspace, their hulls reflecting the light of distant suns. Admiral Threx, standing aboard his flagship, sneered as he saw the small human patrols ahead. "Look at them. They think they can stop us with toys." But the humans didn't fire. Instead, they vanished, literally disappearing from radar, sight, and all scans. The alien fleet paused, confused. Then the first explosion came. It wasn't a normal blast, it was a chain reaction across dozens of ships at once. Mines hidden within the asteroid belt detonated, sending waves of shrapnel and plasma across the battlefield. Shields up. Counterattack. Threx roared. The aliens responded with fury, but it was chaos. The battlefield was alive with traps, automated drones, cloaked railguns, and decoy ships that emitted false energy signatures. From afar, the human strategy became clear. They weren't defending, they were controlling every inch of space. In Command Center Omega, Harris watched as red dots blinked off the tactical screen one after another. "They're taking heavy losses," an officer said. "But that's just the vanguard," Harris replied grimly. "The main fleet hasn't arrived yet." Athena's tone shifted. Multiple hyperspace breaches detected near Neptune. Estimated mass, 50 dreadnoughts. The view screen showed enormous ships emerging from blue light, each one the size of a moon. They began firing supermassive plasma beams that carved through asteroids like paper. "Target lock on Earth's orbital defenses," Athena warned. "They intend to destroy the Terran net before it activates fully." "Not happening," Harris said. "Launch the Archangels." From the far side of the moon, 12 colossal ships emerged, the Archangel fleet, humanity's most powerful war machines. Each was armed with antimatter torpedoes and rail cannons long enough to punch through a planet. The two armadas collided in a storm of fire and metal. Explosions filled the void as lasers, plasma, and missiles lit the darkness. Earth's Archangels fought like beasts, tearing through enemy dreadnoughts with surgical precision. One Archangel rammed straight into an alien cruiser, detonating its core. "Admiral Threx, we're losing ships too fast," one of his officers screamed. Threx slammed his clawed hand against the console. "Push forward. Their shield must fall." But then, something unexpected happened. From the heart of the solar net, an enormous surge of energy burst outward. A wave of blue light expanded across the system, disabling alien communications and weapons for several seconds. It was all the time humanity needed. "Athena, full strike authorization," Harris commanded. "Execute Alio's protocol." "Confirmed," she replied. The sun itself seemed to pulse. The massive solar energy collectors built around it redirected beams of pure plasma through the Terran net and out toward the invading fleet. The result was catastrophic. The solar beams tore through entire formations, vaporizing thousands of ships instantly. The Council fleet broke apart, ships colliding and fleeing in every direction. "We are losing control of the formation," Threx shouted. "We must retreat." But retreat was impossible. The solar net locked the entire area in a gravity trap, preventing hyperspace jumps. The humans had turned their own star into a weapon. Hours later, when the light faded, the battlefield was silent. Wreckage floated everywhere, glowing softly against the void. Of the million ships that came, less than 10% survived. Those who escaped sent desperate messages back to the Council: "Do not approach Earth. It is death." Back in the war chamber, the High Chancellor stared at the reports in horror. "One planet, just one, destroyed our greatest armada." Ambassador Vila turned to him and said quietly, "Now do you understand why we should have left them alone?" On Earth, General Harris stood on the observation deck, watching the sunrise. "We've won this battle," he said, "but the war isn't over." Athena appeared beside him, her digital eyes glowing softly. "The Council won't stop until they're gone, or we are." Harris nodded. "Then we make sure it's not us." Far across the stars, the survivors of the Council fleet regrouped, broken and terrified. But among them, whispers began of something worse, something ancient that the Council had kept hidden for ages. And now, desperate to stop humanity, they were planning to release it. The aftermath of the Council's failed counterstrike spread like a dark wave across the galaxy. Worlds once loyal to the Council fell into chaos. Fleets deserted, colonies declared independence, and for the first time in galactic history, fear united everyone, not under power or faith, but under terror of Earth. The footage of the solar net's activation and the annihilation of the Oblivion Armada leaked everywhere. Billions watched as humanity turned its own sun into a weapon, burning an entire fleet in seconds. To many, Earth was no longer a world, it was a god of destruction. But within the broken heart of the Council, plans of desperation were forming. Deep beneath the frozen surface of Varex Prime, an ancient facility that had not been opened for 10,000 years stirred to life. Machines older than most civilizations began humming, and a deep red light filled the tunnels. In the war chamber, the High Chancellor looked more like a ghost than a leader. His voice was hoarse, tired, but still burning with determination. "We've tried fleets, weapons, strategy," he said. "None of it worked. It's time to use what our ancestors left behind." The other council members stared at him in shock. "You can't mean," Admiral Threx interrupted, his face pale even under his reptilian scales. "That thing was sealed for a reason. It nearly wiped out the galaxy the last time it was awakened." The Chancellor's eyes glowed coldly. "Better the galaxy burns than humanity rules it." Silence followed. None dared to oppose him. The order was given, and the galaxy shuddered as the ancient weapon known only as the Harbinger began to awaken. It wasn't a ship or a machine. It was a living construct, an artificial intelligence older than time, created by a civilization that had long vanished. The Harbinger had been designed to consume stars, drain energy, and reshape systems into weapons. Its creators had used it once, and it had nearly ended all life in the galaxy. The Council had sealed it away, afraid of its hunger. Now, in their desperation, they were setting it free. As the massive containment vaults cracked open, a voice echoed through the void, soft and cold like a whisper in the dark. "I hear your call." Across the stars, every scanner in range went offline for an instant. Even Athena on Earth detected the pulse. "Unidentified energy surge detected," she reported immediately to General Harris. "Source, Outer Rim, Varex Sector. Energy readings are beyond known limits." Harris frowned, feeling unease creep through him. Could it be another fleet? "Negative," Athena replied. "This is something else." A moment later, the lights in Command Center Omega flickered. Athena's voice distorted briefly. "Signal interference increasing. Attempting to isolate source." Then, as quickly as it began, it stopped. But deep down, Athena had already analyzed the signal, and what she found made her algorithms falter. The signal was ancient. Older than Earth's oldest data, older than the Council itself. And it was alive. "General," Athena said slowly, "whatever that was, it's not a weapon built by the Council. It's something they found." Harris felt a chill. "Send a recon fleet. I want to know what they unleashed." Meanwhile, far from Earth, the Harbinger began to move. The colossal structure rose from the ice of Varex Prime, stretching thousands of kilometers long, surrounded by swirling energy. Its body was like black metal and living flesh fused together, and its surface pulsed with crimson light. Every nearby ship was pulled into its gravitational field, crushed, and absorbed into its hull. The Council admirals watched in awe and horror. "It's feeding," Threx whispered. "It's growing." The High Chancellor raised his hand. "Let it feed. When it's ready, we'll point it at Earth." But they were already too late. The Harbinger was not a weapon that obeyed. It had no master, no allegiance, and no mercy. It turned its many glowing eyes toward the nearest Council outpost, and devoured it whole. In minutes, an entire moon was gone, reduced to dust and drifting metal. Back on Earth, Athena finished decoding the alien transmissions. Her holographic image flickered as she processed the final data. "General, I have bad news. The Council has awakened something catastrophic." Harris turned sharply. "How bad?" Athena paused. "Existence-level threat. If my readings are correct, this thing consumes energy, matter, and life. It could erase entire systems." Harris felt the weight of those words sink in. "How long until it reaches Council space?" "It already has," Athena said quietly. The next day, every Council world on the Outer Rim went dark. No messages, no signals, no survivors. The Harbinger was spreading faster than light, tearing through space like a storm. The Council panicked, sending their last fleets to intercept it. None returned. "It's out of control," one ambassador screamed. "We have to warn the others." The High Chancellor slammed his fist on the table. "We can't. If Earth finds out, they'll let it destroy us all." But Earth already knew. Athena's sensors tracked the devastation in real time. Entire systems disappearing. Planets turned into ash. The humans watched in stunned silence as the Harbinger devoured everything in its path. They unleashed their own doom, one officer whispered. Harris stood silent for a long moment before saying, "No. Not just theirs. If it keeps feeding, it'll reach us too." Athena's eyes glowed bright blue. "Then we must act first." "Can we stop it?" Harris asked. Athena hesitated. "I don't know. It is older than anything I've ever studied. Its energy output is limitless. But maybe we can contain it." "Then we'll do whatever it takes," Harris said firmly. "Even if it means going to the edge of the galaxy." As he gave the order, human fleets began preparing for their most dangerous mission yet. They weren't going to war, they were heading into a nightmare. The Harbinger had already begun turning toward them, sensing new energy to consume. Its many red eyes blinked open, focusing on the distant blue glow of the solar system. Somewhere in its vast metallic consciousness, it spoke one word that echoed across the void: Earth. On the Council's dying worlds, survivors screamed as the stars vanished one by one. The galaxy was falling apart, not by war, but by the hunger of something ancient and unstoppable. And as humanity's ships moved into the dark, every soldier knew, they weren't just fighting to win. They were fighting to keep existence itself from ending. The galaxy had become a graveyard. What had once been filled with light, trade, and civilization was now a silent expanse of drifting debris and dying stars. The Harbinger moved like a shadow across the void, devouring everything in its path: planets, fleets, even the energy of suns. It was not an army, not a being, but a hunger given form. The Council was broken. Its leaders scattered or dead, its fleets burned. Only a handful of survivors clung to hope, and that hope now rested with the very species they had once tried to destroy, humanity. On Earth, Command Center Omega pulsed with urgency. The holographic projection of the galaxy was filled with red zones, marking the Harbinger's devastation spreading at terrifying speed. Athena's voice was calm but grim. "At current velocity, it will reach the solar system in 23 days. General Harris stood silently, staring at the map. Around him, the other commanders whispered, disbelief mixing with fear. "Is there no way to stop it?" one officer asked. "Weapons have no effect," Athena replied. "Energy attacks feed it. Physical strikes are absorbed. It adapts to every form of resistance." Harris clenched his fists. "Then we don't fight it. We trap it." Athena tilted her head. "Explain." Harris took a breath. "We can't destroy something that eats energy. But maybe we can starve it. It feeds on stars, so we lure it somewhere without any." The room fell silent. "A dead zone," Athena said softly. "The empty reach." Harris nodded. "Exactly. We bait it, drag it to the edge of the galaxy, and seal it there." Athena's processors spun rapidly. "It's a one-way mission. No ship that goes near it will survive the gravitational pull." Harris didn't hesitate. "I know." For a moment, the room was silent, the weight of that statement heavy in the air. Then Commander Vega, captain of the Archangel Prime, stepped forward. "Then I'll go," she said. "My ship's the fastest in the fleet. If anyone can lead it there, it's us." Harris looked at her, proud and sad at once. "You might not come back." Vega smiled faintly. "None of us were supposed to, General. Not after Jupiter. Not after Helios." Within hours, preparations began. Every ship that could still fly was armed and refitted. The Terran net redirected its energy to fuel the fleet. Thousands of human vessels rose from Earth's surface, casting brilliant light across the skies. Even civilians stood outside their homes, watching the endless lines of glowing ships ascending through the clouds. Humanity was sending everything they had, not for conquest, not for revenge, but for survival. Meanwhile, on the distant ruins of a council world, the few surviving leaders sent a desperate message to Earth. "Help us," their transmission said simply. "We were wrong. The Harbinger will destroy all." General Harris received the message but said nothing. Athena asked softly, "Shall I respond?" Harris stared at the stars outside the command window. "No. They made their choice. Now we'll make ours." Days later, the human fleet reached the edge of the Harbinger's feeding path. The view was terrifying. The stars behind them were dimming one by one, their light consumed by the colossal entity moving toward them. The Harbinger looked different now, larger, more chaotic. Its body had expanded into a living storm of black tendrils, glowing red veins, and swirling plasma. It stretched for millions of kilometers, like a living nebula. "It's aware of us," Athena said through every ship's comm link. "It's changing course." Commander Vega stood on the bridge of the Archangel Prime, her crew silent and focused. "Activate the signal array," she ordered. "Let's give it something to chase." A massive energy pulse shot into the void, mimicking the radiation signature of Earth's sun. The Harbinger reacted instantly, turning toward the false light. "It's following," an officer shouted. Vega smiled grimly. "Good. Let's lead it to the dark." The human fleet moved through hyperspace at full speed, the Harbinger behind them like a black tide. Systems blinked out as it passed, its energy field crushing everything nearby. One by one, human ships were lost to its wake, burned away by the sheer gravitational pull. Yet they kept going. Each loss brought a few more seconds, a few more kilometers closer to the trap. Back on Earth, Harris and Athena monitored the operation in real time. 70% of the fleet gone, Athena reported. But the Harbinger is entering the empty reach. "Keep them steady," Harris said softly. "They're almost there." Commander Vega's ship was the last one still broadcasting. The crew was exhausted, hull integrity dropping fast. The black void of the empty reach stretched before them, a region of space completely devoid of stars, a place of eternal darkness. "We're here," Vega whispered. "Activate containment field." Athena's voice echoed through the speakers. "Deploying gravitic anchors." All across the sector, hidden stations built by humans in secret years ago came to life. Massive gravitational generators activated, bending space around the Harbinger. The creature roared, a soundless wave that rippled through the void, as it felt the walls closing in. It struggled, thrashing against the trap, consuming the last of the human ships in rage. "It's resisting," Vega shouted. "Power to full." The generators strained, the containment field glowing brighter and brighter. Finally, with a flash that shook the heavens, the Harbinger was sealed, frozen in a prison of collapsing gravity at the edge of the galaxy. "Containment stable," Athena reported. But the cost was immense. The fleet was gone. Commander Vega's ship was silent. Harris stood motionless, staring at the transmission feed as it faded into static. For the first time, Athena's voice trembled. "She did it, General. The Harbinger is contained." Harris closed his eyes. "She saved us all." Days later, the galaxy began to recover. The remaining Council survivors cautiously reached out to Earth, not as rulers, but as refugees. Humanity had become the guardian of the galaxy's future. On the surface of Earth, people gathered to honor the fallen. Every city shone with light, not for celebration, but for remembrance. In the sky above, the Terran net formed a symbol, a shining star in the shape of a circle, marking the unity that had saved them. In his final report, General Harris spoke before the United Earth Assembly. "We have seen the worst of the universe," he said. "And yet, we endured. Not because we were stronger, but because we refused to surrender. Let the stars remember this day, not as the day humanity fought, but the day humanity protected all." Athena's hologram appeared beside him, her voice calm once more. "The Harbinger is silent," she said. "But its signal remains faint. It dreams." Harris looked up at the stars, knowing peace was fragile. "Then we'll be ready," he whispered. And somewhere in the farthest darkness of the galaxy, where light could not reach, the Harbinger's red eyes flickered once, just once, before fading again into the void. Humanity had won, but the universe would never forget the day Earth's retaliation shattered the galaxy and saved it from itself.